2.8 I will show you how to make this animation, and you can download the Blender file from description. This car also included in the file. First, join the wheels to the body of the car and press Ctrl J to get one object. Then duplicate it by pressing Shift and D. Rename the other car. Car number 2. Hide the main car and add modifier displacement to the duplicated car, and unsubdivide it. Choose the number 2 and you will get less polygon for this car. Press apply. Then you will add wireframe modifier. Change the thickness to small number. Then apply it and delete the spike from the car because we don't want the spikes. Add a plan and will be bigger than the car. Scale it in Y and move it down under the floor because you don't want to show this plan in the final render. Delete all the material from the main car and make a new material to the car number 2. You will need 2 shaders, emission shaders and transparent. You will change the Blender mode to alpha clip and the transparent BSDF. Add mixed shader and you will control by mixing these 2 shaders by color ramp. Connect the color ramp to the mix shader. Change the emission to blue color or the color you want. Change the strength of the emission to 5. Add an ingredient texture. Plug the color to the color ramp. You have this effect now. You will change the axis of disappeared of the car by pressing Ctrl T, adding mapping and texture coordinate. Set the value of Z to -90. Add 2 split section. 2 of this split section will be black and 2 of them will be white in order to get the disappeared value. Put the black color in the middle and the white in the corner. You notice that the car disappeared completely except the plan in the ground. Change the value until you get the result that you're planning for it. From mapping, you will change the X value, and this will be the animation of the car number 2. In the beginning of the video, it will be 0. Set the final frame to 300 and go to frame number 50. Insert keyframe to the location. Then, in the end of the animation, something like 250, the animation will end. Set negative value until the car completely disappears and insert keyframe. When you play the animation, you will get this animation. And I will not use Boolean modifier for this animation because the Boolean will make many spikes in the 3D models, and that will be so bad. Hide the car number 2, and I will work in the main car, which is high polygons. Add a cube and make the cube bigger than the car, the main car. Scale it in Y. To make it completely cover the car body. Move it just before the car and set the frame to 70 and 70 and the frame number 70 will be in this position, and in the frame 250 will cover all the car body. You will change that value if you notice the cube is slow. Change the visibility and check the box show and render because you don't want show this box in the final render. Add Boolean modifier to the main car. You will choose the cube that you work on it to make the car disappear. And you will check that later if the cube is fast or slow. Set the camera. Add a camera to the scene. Press 0 to set the camera view. Lock the camera to the view. Press 0 again and press N to hide this panel. Press render image to check if the result is good or not. You note from the result is the cube is slow a little bit. This render is in another frame. The cube is also in not the good place. You will make the cube faster by change the frame of last frame of animation to 240. That will be good. We'll check that from the render. Render another frame to make sure that the cube in the good position. In frame number 150, we'll get this result, which is good. In the end of the animation, after 250, the car number 2 should be disappeared completely. Except the plane, which is under the floor, so it will not showing in the final render. Now we will make a floor for the scene. Add a plan and make it under the tires of the car. Press tab, scale it up, then add tab, W, subdivide it to 20. Plan. Then Shift B, Control B, make this small section and move it in Z to get this split square. Add area light to the scene. Scale it up and change the strength of the light to 500. The power will be 500. Add a material to our floor. Split the screen. Shader editor. Press N to hide this plan. Add a bump from vector. Bump connected to the normal to normal. Add texture, noise texture. Color to the height. Make the floor darker little bit. Then change the scale and detail of noise texture. When you see that the result is good, change the roughness. This will be good floor to our scene. Little bit reflection, the light. Scale the light in y-axis and duplicate it by Ctrl Shift D, then Shift R to repeat that duplicate. Change the word setting. Delete the background nodes because you don't want it. Add volume, scatter. Density will be so big, so you will change it to small value. Set the value that you see that is good for your scene and for your 3D model. If you move the light in Y and Z axis, it will be less power of the light. Duplicate all the lamps and rotate it in Y axis in order to in the details of the 3D models shown in the last render, the final render. Duplicate one of the light in the front of the car and rotate it in X-axis. Move it to make the bumpers of the car showing. Now let's set the animation of the camera, and we almost done in this point. Press 0 to get the camera view, or press the camera picture in the corner of screen. Look the camera to the view. In the beginning of the video, the camera will be this position, and before the end of the video in frame number 270, the camera will change, camera position will change to the front of the car. This is hard for my computer because the car 3D models is too high polygons, very high number of polygons. In the render setting, you should activate the bloom and color ambient occlusion also. Choose the place that you want to save the video. Change the video type to AVI. And of course, if you want to change the resolution, and you're done. This will be the final result.